Ayan na, mga kameta. Kamusta kayo dyan? Medyo magana muna ako. Maglo-look away na rin ako ng konti. Maglo-look away na naman ako ng konti. Tignan natin. Bagay ba sa atin, mga kameta, kung tayo rin po ay nag-Sakura Pictorial Glamour Shot dyan sa Japan. Aminin natin talaga medyo stunning talaga itong picture ni former duly elected Vice President Leni. In fairness talaga, very stunning yung picture na yan. Kaya I couldn't, how should I put, hindi naman I couldn't resist posting it, but I couldn't overlook it. Yun na lang, no? At pinost natin kanina sa mga platforms natin, grabe yung mga response. Including from, of course, yung mga trolls. How predictable, di ba? Talagang ayaw sa maganda, ayaw sa hindi corrupt, ayaw sa alam mo naman, 'di ba? Ayaw sa yung mga nag-graduate ng husto sa mga magagandang paralan. Parang ayaw ng mga trolls ng ganun. Gusto ng mga trolls, alam niyo na this. Alam niyo na this, mga kameta, kaya ang dami nagko-comment dyan. Now, obviously, medyo may mga serious tayong pag-usapan. Of course, itong announcement by Congressman Richard Gomez, na nakaupo siya next to Robin Hood Padilla, Senator Robin Padilla. Mukhang meron ng understanding doon sa Kongreso, mga kameta, na yung modality for constitutional change or chacha. Mukhang ang mangyari dito, mga kameta, is hindi constitutional convention but yung tinatawag na constitutional assembly or constituent assembly, CONAS, kaysa CON-CON, no? And, hindi, medyo masagwang pakinggan. Anyway, pag-usapan natin yan because katulad ng pinost natin kanina, it's not only the goal that is important, and we can debate about whether constitutional change is what we really need. Katulad ng pinag-usapan natin ng isang araw, si Pangulong Marcos Jr. mismo na tumakbo on the Federalista Party platform, he himself admitted that mukhang hindi naman kailangan talaga ng constitutional change. We can work with what we got. No less than Senator Zubiri also, kind of a pro-administration figure, although may pagka-independent ang projection niya. Even siya nagsabi na, wait lang, bago natin pag-usapan yung constitutional change and chacha, before mudding the water, pag-usapan naman natin yung implementing rules and regulation on 3 different laws na pinasa the other year under the previous Congress na may direct na kinalaman dito sa issue ng foreign investments and making our economy more competitive. So don't muddy the water by bringing in the whole reinvention of the wheel, when all we need to do is to make sure yung mga bagong batas na pinasa, meron na silang executory dimension to them, na ma-implement sila ng husto. So yun po yung context, no? Yun po yung context. Kaya pag-usapan natin ng konti yan, because the other question here is, okay, even if aminin natin na kailangan, for the sake of argument, if constitutional change or chacha is the way forward, the next question is, what's the best way to move forward? Now, and this is where things get tricky, mga kameta, because if you want to really change the system, obviously basic system analysis will tell you that it's not only the structure or architecture of the system that is important, it's also the components of the system that is important, right? Common sense po yan. Hindi na kailangan mag-graduate school sa social sciences or in philosophy of science, etc., or natural sciences. And here is, mga kameta, here is the rub, no? Mukhang some are arguing we can get rid of trapo politics by allowing certain traditional politicians to oversee a process that will get rid of traditional politicians. Like, medyo hindi ko na-gets yan, alright? So, pag-usapan natin ng konti yan. But before that, mga kameta, ito na nga, bago natin punta kay Robin P. and Richard G. and all of those things, pag-usapan natin ito si Ma'am Leni, the former duly elected Vice President, and also, at least officially, the first runner-up dun sa race for the presidency last year. Katulang sinabi natin, Ma'am Leni should be very proud of her ability to mobilize more than 15 million votes per official numbers, despite everything, despite going against a formidable alliance, the uniteam, no, between the House of Duterte and House of Marcos, no. Kamusta naman yung alliance na yan ngayon? Ibang usapan na yan, diba? So that's something that we have been talking about for quite some time, mga kameta. So sabi ko, from the very beginning, this was going to be an uphill battle. And then, let's be honest, we raised concerns about the strategy of people running her campaign, including, I think, the under-emphasis on the issue of competence, which was very important based on all of the data and numbers we have, and then over-emphasis on kind of medyo 2016 na style of campaigning na hindi na masyadong swak doon sa 2022, no? So medyo hindi nag-upgrade ng konti. Not to mention, of course, overemphasis of some certain people in her campaign and some of the thought leaders attached to her, who kept on talking about Google Trends and kept on ridiculing and mocking scientific surveys, credible savers, etc. But before tayo pupunta dyan, mga kameta, let's just say this. Aba, talagang ganda naman ang picture na yan. Sino naman nag-picture dyan, diba? Ang ganda, diba? To be honest, tayo po I've been to Japan many times, pero aminin ko guys, for some reason I never had a chance to be in Japan during the Sakura season. Siguro kasi mahal, di ba? Pumunta doon. And then for some reason, whenever I was invited there, whether when I did my PhD summer school sa Tokyo, long time ago, more than a decade ago, whether yung mga times na inimbita tayo ng dating Abe administration, inimbita tayo ng mga Japanese government on multiple occasions, inimbita tayo ng mga iba't ibang organisasyon dyan, I never had a chance to really see the Sakura season. I saw Sakura though, not in Japan, not even in Asia, but I saw Sakura in Washington DC. So the many times, or the few times rather, that I was able to see Sakura was actually not even in Asia. It was in Washington DC. And as you may know, those Sakura that you see in Washington DC, I think this is next to the Jefferson, Memorial, etc. That actually has a very interesting history because mukhang yung mga Sakura na yan, if I'm not mistaken, were donated by Japan prior to Second World War, no, kind of as a token of friendship, as a reflection of friendship between the two countries, because Japan and the United States and all, they were on one side, no, until First World War, and then things go very ugly, especially after Japanese invasion of Manchuria, and then boom, yung invasion of Pearl Harbor, no, and then from there it really went wrong. But now, of course, Japan and US are super beshi, especially in light of common threats that is emanating from China. So anyway, yung mga Sakura na nakita natin mostly in Washington DC, I've never had the chance to check Sakura dyan sa Japan. So biglang hindi naman nainggit. May term kami sa may term kami sa Ilocano, we say like ambing, di ba? It's like yung parang may tinitignan ka na may pagkain na masarap tapos inaambing mo siya. So hindi naman ambing din level. Yung parang part of me saying, sana naman, di ba? And of course, alam naman natin si Magellan Jr. ay almost nag-circumnavigate ng Earth, but let's ibang usapan yan kasi as head of state ginagawa yan. Ibang usapan yan. Kay Leni naman mukhang these are based on invitation. In fact, I'm glad that Ma'am Leni is getting finally some sort of respite. No? After all the trolling and the horrible attacks and this pathetic trolls and all of that, I'm glad that she and her family are getting the much needed respite. Mukhang from Scandinavia to Sakura, ibang klase, ibang level. So mukhang nag-world traveler din si Ma'am. But we know these are based on invitations, these are for her advocacies. And tingnan mo naman yung picture, mga kameta, diba? Very stunning. Now, interestingly, ang dami nag-comment dyan ng mga trolls doon sa mga post natin. Ito yung mga tambay boys and all. Yung mga attack nila, wow, ganda ng filter. Wow, ganda ng ganda. Ako naman comment ko, sige, filter natin yung amo nyo. Filter na... Alam nyo na yan, diba? Sige, filter natin si tatay. Tingnan natin. Sige lang, ilagay natin sa Sakura. Tingnan natin. Ay nako, dinadaan sa filter ang usapan. Sige, filter natin yung mga amo nyo. Tingnan natin kung gano'n yung lalabas. Diba? Ipag-glamour shot din natin. Sige lang. Sige lang. Ayan. Pero sigurado ako hindi iPhone yung ginamit dyan, no? Parang may magka-Samsung dyan. Pero alam ko sa mga filter, the best natin mga Chinese phones yung mga Oppo, yung mga ganun, diba? Yan. Pero anyway, filter or no filter, mga kameta. Sige, kaya nga sabi ko, sige, filter natin yung mga amo nyo. Tingnan natin kung ganyan labas. Si tatay, i-filter natin. Tingnan natin, no? Kaya guys, kung magandang labas, kahit may filter, kailangan maganda yung foundation, diba? Yung fondasyon, hindi pwede... Alam mo, kahit ano yung filter ang gawin mo dun sa iba, talagang Pala na, daan na lang sa TikTok. O yan, sige, daan na lang sa algorithm ng TikTok. Baka may mangyari pa. But anyways, I'm just saying mga kameta, natutuwa po tayo na si Ma'am Leni is getting, kind of chill time. I mean, she's getting the respect. Nakita ko kanina sa Twitter na nagka-meeting sila ng Canadian ambassador. She's getting the respect, the recognition, the respite. Respect, recognition, respite. All of these things that I think she really deserves. No, again, of course, hindi siya perfect. And to be honest, of course, I've criticized some aspects of her campaign. I raised concerns about her not fighting back against disinformation strong enough and early enough. Noon pa, I think aminado din siya na may mga pagkakulang sila. But in spite of everything, in spite of all of the constructive criticism that we raised throughout the years, in fairness naman, di ba? Aminin natin, pagdating kay ma'am, filter, no filter, ang reality po dyan is, hindi siya corrupt, nag-aral siya, nakapagtapos siya sa mga public universities, at even with very limited funds that she had back in the day, with very limited resources she had as the vice president, she was able to achieve a lot, especially nung panahon ng pandemic, no? So yun lang sinasabi natin dyan. Ayan. Na yung mga sarap buhay comments dyan. Ayan, tawagin natin si Bato. Kamustang buhay sa Senado. Anyway, so what I'm saying here is, yeah, hindi ko ma-ignore yung picture na yan kasi parang biglang nainggit ako. Inambing ko na yan. Sige, tignan natin kung may promo ba dyan, mga kameta? May mga kameta ba tayo dyan sa Osaka? Or sa Kyoto? Baka naman! Baka naman! Sino may diploma? Sabi nga sa YouTube. Anong diploma yan? Kaya nga paano siya nag-MBA? Wala ka naman undergrad na BA or BS. Diba? Hindi ka pwede hindi naman pwede magdidiploma ka tapos mag-Wharton ka. Anyways, ibang usapan na yan. Na yun na nga, natatawa lang ako dito sa mga trolls. Ang lakas mga asar. Tapos, sige, filter natin yung dati yung amor. Sige, natin, diba? Ayan tayo. Anyway, I'm happy for everyone. Kahit papaano, meron ng grabe yung mga comments sa Twitter. Medyo marupok yung ibang comments. Ayoko nang patulan. Pero dami nag-comment. Ayan, medyo nag-viral na naman siya. Ayan. By the way, may update rin pala sa Farmali. May announcement rin from Ombudsman Office about Farmali. We'll keep abreast with that. Tignan natin ang mangyari dyan. Kasi alam na naman natin, parang ang laki ng issue ng Farmali. Biglang nawala sa eksena. So, dapat tignan natin ano ba nangyari dyan. Diba? Ayan naman yan na dyan. Ayan. Okay, mga kameta. So, anyway, so, for me, hindi naman tayo travel blogger or hindi pa. Ito sa akin, mga kameta. A part of me has a hunch na Ma'am Leni is getting all of this rejuvenative or regenerative and rejuvenating moment because may sense ako tatakbo siya sa 2025. No? And katulad ng sinabi natin, mukhang talagang dapat tatakbuhan niya is Senate. Mas magandang chance niya compared to even governor and all. Because sa Philippines, minsan, mas maganda pa yung tumakbo ka sa national politics kaysa local. Minsan, mas competitive, mas masaklap, mas, alam nyo na, diba? Tingnan mo naman yung mga politika natin, yung governor ng ganito, ganyan. Naalala ko nga parang, diba? What's his name? Yung senator na yan? Si Lito Lapid, yan. Di ba parang natalo siya nang tumakbo sa Pampanga, pero easy win lang siya sa Senate. So, si Ma'am Leni, given her national prominence, given the huge support that she has among a lot of people, notwithstanding the trolls and all people who misunderstand her, I think top 3 easy kayang-kaya yan sa Senate. If not even top 1, number 1, diba? Top G. And if she tops the race for the Senate, it's anyone's guess what's gonna happen in 2028. Sabi natin, tatakbo si Tulfo, tatakbo si Leni, tapos tatakbo si Sara. Yan, competitive yan. Interesting yan. Of course, there's also the aspect of Riza Hontiveros. What's gonna happen there? Is there gonna be a rallying behind kind of element there? I'm not sure. I'm kind of 50-50 on that based on what I'm seeing right now, diba? So let's see mga kameta. So when I look at this, look at Ma'am Leni having these moments of respite and, regeneration and all of that, my sense is this puts her in a very good position, psychologically, physically, and otherwise, to make a good run for the Senate, for the highest office 2025, right? So more or less next year dapat magsimula na yung campaign niyan. So she has still one year more to go around, build momentum while also dealing with angat buhay. Anyways, mga kameta, kailangan natin umalis pala. So mamaya na yung kay Richard G and kay Robin P, yung mga ganun, yung mga constitutional or constituent assembly versus constitutional convention. Pag-usapan natin yan, mga kameta. Pero katulad ng sinabi ko, no, even if, let's say for the sake of argument, Chacha is good for the country, the modality of transition is important. And the idea of potentially allowing traditional politicians oversee the process of, I'm not talking about Richard G per se or Robin P, because Robin P was never in politics before, so you cannot call him a traditional politician, etc. But the idea of letting traditional politicians, who are the majority, in a certain chamber, to oversee the process of charter change to supposedly get rid of trapo politics, parang, dawa, connect the dots, or ano bang pwede connect dyan? Okay, I'll keep it here, mga kameta. Thank you very much. I hope natutuwa kayo sa mga good vibes natin. Kasi good vibes tayo sa mga picture niyan. So, Ma'am Leni, please continue to come up with good vibes picture niyan. At yung mga trolls naman, yung mga amo niyo, kung may mga magandang filtered picture, sige lang, pa-forward naman, no problem. Pag-usapan natin yan, no problem. Ako naman, di ba? I'm here for good vibes. I'm here para sa bayan. Sige, share nyo na sa amin. Alright, mga ka-unity? No problem. Thank you very much. And talk to you soon. And may habol ako. And then by the way, mamaya, finally, God willing sana, ito na, matutuloy na sana itong podcast natin with kaibigan natin, a very good historian friend of ours who's now based in New York, used to be based in LSE and Singapore, and was based in the Philippines for a very long time. Magaling magtagalog to, mas magaling pa sa akin magtagalog as if naman. Pero kasi dayuhan to technically speaking. Ang galing ng Tagalog niya. So hopefully within an hour or so, we're gonna have also an interesting discussion about the Philippines, Philippine political left, etc. A little bit controversial, a little bit... So, panoorin yan. Of course, na-post na rin natin yung interview natin with Attorney Ruben Carranza. Very, very interesting discussion about the Marcoses, about Duterte, about ICC, about Putin, Omar al-Bashir. So much is being discussed there. So please also check that out. And please subscribe to my channel. Please continue to support us dito sa YouTube natin. Paki-support yung YouTube natin, mga kameta. Kasi doon natin pinupost yung iba. Minsan mas maaga kasi yung mga podcast natin really for YouTube natin yan. And other things. Also, please support our podcast, the Richard Darn Podcast on Spotify. Rate us, please. Libre lang naman mag-rate. Libre mag-star doon. Pero, speaking of star, thank you very much kay Ma'am Jocelyn Lumberia, as always. Sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa atin. Ayan, thank you kay Ernie Carpio for joining us, for Raymond Pamatian for joining us, for Amy Maring, for Josefina Lapos, yan. Sa lahat ng mga nagko-comment, nag-suggestion, yan, excited, yan, natutuwa sa atin. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Salamat din dito sa mga supporters natin sa YouTube. Very, very kind of you. Super kind of you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Victoria also for kind support. Lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa atin dito. Thank you very much. Ayan. Please lang, refrain from profanities, refrain from weird comments on my channels and all para hindi naman tayo ma-weirdan. Alright? Let's keep it nice. Let's keep it cool. Let's keep it civil. And kung ayaw ng civil and cool, ayaw ng civil at maging cool, then be ready to be trolled, including by yours truly. Alright? No problem. Thank you very much, guys. And by the way, pasensya na rin if ever may mga misunderstanding, may mga back and forth tayo on Twitter sometimes. Alam mo naman ako, ang dami akong ginagawa sa gitna, nag-tweet lang ako dito. At the end of the day, I always wish the best for Philippine democracy. I hope the Philippine opposition learns the right lesson from the previous elections, and hopefully they'll move forward in the best way possible, because you cannot have a good democracy, real democracy, if you don't have a strong opposition. And at the end of the day, it looks like still Leni is the anchor of the Philippine opposition, and it looks like Leni is increasingly in a good position, psychologically, physically, and otherwise, and politically, to make a run for Senate in 2025 or some high office. And who knows, 2028, things can get very, very interesting. Thank you very much, guys, and talk to you soon.